Civil liberties are anti-democratic. They're anti-democratic. They're hostile to democracy. And what I mean by that is not merely that they're anti-democratic in effect. I mean that they're anti-democratic in design. They were built to be undemocratic, anti-democratic, an enemy of democracy. And it's weird to say that when you first hear it, because that typically is something that's said about bad things, that it's an enemy of democracy, it's anti-democratic. And that distinguishes it from virtually every other political issue, because most political issues are resolved by majoritarian will. That is not the case with civil liberties. It doesn't matter in the slightest if 85% of Americans want the Congress to enact a law abridging free speech. They're still not allowed to do it. And it doesn't matter in the slightest if 95% of Americans want to put people in cages, imprison them, without giving them a trial or other forms of due process. It doesn't matter. The Constitution doesn't allow it. What these protections really are intended to do is to tell the majority, not just the government, but the majority, that there are lines that they too cannot cross. And the interesting part about that is that the founders, because we perceive that we live in a democracy, but the founders didn't think that they were creating a democracy. They actually hated democracy. They thought that democracy would engender what they called majoritarian tyranny, where majorities would get together and do all kinds of pernicious and odious things, and I think history has proven them right about that. So what they wanted to do was they did want an element of democracy. They wanted leaders elected by majoritarian votes. They wanted members of Congress who were representing people to enact the laws through majoritarian, but they needed safeguards against it. And the safeguards were these guarantees that are set forth in the Bill of Rights. They're not there to protect majorities. They're there to protect minorities against things that the majority might do that they shouldn't do.